Well, we could find out in the spring whether reopening the Beverley to York railway line is a real possibility or whether it's just going to remain a pipe dream. A report setting out the business case for reopening it has already been submitted to the government. Now, if ministers like it, then they'll probably authorise a detailed engineering study to look for a route. Beverley's MP Graham Stuart says he'll lobby ministers on this. He thinks reopening it is an excellent idea. He can tell us why now, because he's here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Andy. I think reopening it would spread a bit of positivity around, East Yorkshire, as you've just been saying on your piece that's just been broadcast. People have campaigned for years to get the rail connection between Hull and York reopened, because we've got two great northern cities, both university cities, so close and yet so separated, not part of the same travel to work area. And therefore, I just think it's worth plodding on. I know it's gone on for a long time, but I helped push for and win 50,000, which is a small contribution initially, for, as you say, to look at the strategic business case. And that was supported by East Riding of Yorkshire Council, Hull City Council, York Council, the MPs, cross-party across the whole area. We're working as one just to make the case that, to have these great cities not having a direct rail link is not good for the economy. It's not good for the kind of dynamic future we want. It's not good for the environment. Therefore, we hope we'll lobby the government. And as you rightly say, Andy, the next big step would be to have an engineering study, which would be significantly more expensive, and show where the route will go, how much it will ultimately cost, as well as, and we'll keep working on making the case as to why, linking Hull and York in that way would be good for the whole area.
And you make the case there for business, you make the case for the environment, but the route might be a problem, might it? If we look at the track bed, a lot of it is there, it's intact, a lot of it you can walk the Hudson Way, but we've got some problems when we come to places like Pocklington and Market Wheaton because the track bed has been built upon.
Yeah, well, they've looked and found alternative routes. So clearly a proper engineering study will reveal that more. You've got to make sure it's done in a way which carries local people with you, so issues around that as well. And, I go out on my mountain bike down the old railway route, so I certainly know it quite well. But as you said, there's a lot of steps in the way, but, the vision for our area has got to be of a really dynamic 21st century economy. We've got phenomenal investments coming in on carbon capture and storage, hydrogen. We really can be at the forefront globally of the next sort of industrial revolution. And we need the basic infrastructure in place to make sure this area is set up perfectly to take advantage of it. And that's what I'm excited about. And I think the railway could, play an important role in that. But so we'll just keep plugging away. I was just discussing earlier with some activists this morning, talking about who we should bring for a meeting with the rail minister, make sure we get that right, and put the case over. I don't think it's going to come overnight, Andy. It certainly hasn't so far, has it? But, the first thing you've got to do is make progress so you've actually got a proper plan. You show, once you've got the engineering study, you're starting to answer more of the questions, and then you're looking and waiting, if you like, for when funding and appetite comes along that would allow you to deliver it. So, what we have got is a remarkable, coalition. I guess a lot of people probably the biggest thing missing at the moment is belief. So, as we step forward, I hope we'll see more people thinking, yeah, do you know what, this could happen. And, with Labour's Hull count, you've got the Labour Party, Labour MPs, you've got Liberal Democrats, you've got Conservatives across the whole area. And we are all united in this. If we keep coming together and we lean in together, then I think we can start to make a noise until, this project becomes something which gets delivered. Castle Street was, sat there for so long, not getting the funding. And I was delighted to work with colleagues in Hull and elsewhere to say, look, this is a serious strategic regional issue, and the government, has come forward and funded it. So I think we can do the same with the railway.
And can you also, when you're making the case, and do you think ministers will listen and look what's happened elsewhere? Because there have been railway lines reopened elsewhere. The Borders Railway in Scotland a few years ago. A line, I think, just over a year ago in Devon, the Oakhampton line. And the number of people travelling on the train, I think, has surpassed their expectations. So it tends to be you build a railway line and people will come and travel on it. And does that add weight to your argument, do you think?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And we're expecting growth in the area, population, economically, and the railway bringing the two university cities together will help. As I say, it will change the sort of travel to work geography of the area, makes it more likely that people come and study in our area, will stay in the area, find that there are jobs and employment that they can go to. And that clustering and communication slowly, strengthens the whole area. And that's what we want to see. We want to see higher wages. We want to see better infrastructure. We want to see, the area, regaining its former industrial might. And there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't.
All right, I'm sure we'll talk again about it. We'll find out a bit more in the spring, whether it might be a possibility or not. But thank you for your time as always. Graham Stuart there, the MP for Beverley and Holderness, campaigning, lobbying ministers to reopen the Beverley to York railway line.